Okay, so I am going to take these GHD Chronos Max irons completely apart. I don't think I bothered videoing this on the last standard size Chronos, but I thought I would, even if it gives our competitors some insight into these. Most of them don't stay relevant like we try to do with all of the latest models purchased and stripped down and assessed for repair purposes. Anyway, so the arms, first of all, as I recall from the last pair, I think we started at this end. Yeah, we did. This is very important on all of these newer irons. You've got to start at the right end or you're going to end up breaking these arms, the covers, and you just work along both sides. There we are, and then you will get broken. These are the pieces you do not want to break. If you start from this end, you're going to break all of these, as I see virtually on a daily basis where people have tried to repair their GHD Max. It's a very similar arrangement. You will break some of these little clips down here. It doesn't matter, it's bound to happen. I have broken one by the looks of it, and down here are all good, apart from that one there, broken. That's going to happen, but it won't make any difference. So over to the other side. You could try heating these up with a hairdryer or similar, just to make the plastic a little bit more flexible. But having said that, working on these in the summer, I've not noticed any difference in the rate of breaking the small clips on the GHD Maxes. Like I say, it doesn't matter as long as you don't break those. And this time we've managed to break a few down that side and one there. These are never, GHD have not designed these or any of their irons to be repairable. They do not do repairs, they do not have spares. Okay, so this is looking like exactly the same as the thinner Chronos standard model. This is a floating sort of hinge. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but you can see there is, movement there. Quite easy to break these if you do tread on them, but this movement is normal. So next thing that we've got to do is get these screws out and get the inner covers off. I think all four screws are the same, so very much like the other models. Got this little buzzer arrangement here with the contacts that when put back actually make contact with the contacts on the circuit board. So yeah, four small screws, they're all the same size. These out of the way for photographic purposes later on. Right, now this is where it all gets a little bit complicated. The hinge area, you'll see, is completely covered by this plastic insert, and after much faffing around on the standard Chronos, whenever that came out, I realised that this plastic piece has to come out, this direction, and it is very hard to get in here without marking this really nice sort of satin finish of this aluminium alloy. I assume it's aluminium alloy. Can't imagine it's anything more exotic. So yeah, you do have to be careful here. freed it up a little bit from the... I think it must have gone in here. Like I said, very tricky. Get in there a little bit and just try and loosen that up a bit. Once you've got in there, you can get in a bit more with something like this. Just try and loosen things up without marking anything, but yeah, it really is a pain. There we go. There we go. So you can just gently try and wiggle this free and then swap to something. There we go, and that comes away. Goes back anyway. Either way, it's is fine. So you'll notice the ribbon connector between the two halves right at the end there. If you look here, you will see this is the same pin arrangement as is used on the standard one, and what you'll need to do is just with something very thin, just try and poke the pin out a fraction on both sides. If you can get one out, just grab it with some pliers here. Hopefully you think you can see that. Just pull straight out. And then you can use that to push the other one out a little bit as well, and then that's out. Now there's a spring arrangement. You see just with my finger there is a circular spring. There we go. I'm just bringing that out. There we go. So just carefully note how that whole assembly goes together. Look at where the contact points are on the arms and make note of that. Now I'm just going to put this cable to one side. So at this point we can just pull that off. This is a little LED ring of lights. That's the bit that lights up the cable end. And if we're very careful, we can take these springs off, put them to one side, like so, and we can now lift out these circuit boards with the plates. Little silicon pieces, completely unique to this model. They are the same each side, and then you'll see, if I show you the board, there are some little clips here and here that hold the board in place. And just push one out, lift up the ceramic plate and push the other side, and hopefully get this out. There we are. Try not to twist the flex cable too much. That is the arm. Now the good news is, from a spares point of view, that both of these arms are exactly the same. So I've literally got two good arms to repair broken hair straighteners, and it doesn't matter which arm is broken, they are exactly the same, which is good news, because in all the older ones the arms were different. Now let's do the same with this. What have we got? There's some, just looking at that silicon there, and what it is, there is a 450 volt cap on the other side of this board, and that is holding it in place, I suspect, and stopping it moving around or vibrating. Well, they've done that for some reason. That's a very definite rectangle of silicon where that cap is. So yeah, same this side, we've got the two plastic clips and that comes out, and just as I said, they are exactly the same, the arms. So that is 2 repairs available. That is the cap on the other side. That is the little ribbon cable that goes off to the LEDs. Alright, so I will take, or will I take one of them? You know what, I can't be bothered, so I'm not going to take the elements out. It's no different to any of the other models. The mount is keyed to the metal of the ceramic plate, so you've got to be careful and know what you're doing to get these apart. Nothing particularly interesting on the ceramic. On the circuit board we have a little surface mount fuse there. That is, you know what, let's get the microscope out. Looks like it says 7 amp, but that can't be right. Let's have a look, see if we can read that a little better. Just there, I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, probably can. Let me just have a look at that, see if we can read it. Where are we? There we are, let's get that into focus. Well, it does say 7A and then QH, but yeah, I can't believe for 1 minute that's actually a 7 amp fuse. The circuit board is called a Moana Plus Power PCB. So yeah, there we go. Really, that's just a look at that. The cable is an absolute nightmare to change without a special tool. It is really firmly clipped. If you see, there are 4 tabs around there that hold this cable in place, and it is virtually impossible to pull this out by force, even if you wanted to. Let me just go to the drawer and get the tool for it. Right, so I have made up a tool, 3D printed, designed and 3D printed, and what this allows me to do is still a bit fiddly, but you'll get the idea. This tool will go into here, it will cover the 4 tabs, and it will just allow them to slide around just enough, and sorry, it will allow them, it will force them to go in just a little bit, and if I get this just right, this will pull out. As I say, it is a bit of a bugger without that tool. In fact, you won't do it. You risk snapping the tabs. Standard Type 4 cable, obviously, and that is about that. This is a nicely machined piece of alloy. There are rubber cushioning pieces on there, so yeah, nothing too unusual. This is slotted here and the other side, and that just allows the plastic, which is also, where is it? I'm just seeing which bit is marked like that. Oh, it's just where it's joined in half, I think. I'm not even sure that that's correct. Well, that's not going in there unless it's on the end of the cable, but yeah, that is slotted, so it will only go in one way. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So nothing much different to the other Chronos. If we took these apart, we would find the new style of rectangular thermal fuse. And whilst I'm on the subject of thermal fuses, I'm getting to see this now every day. This is the thermal fuse. It's a Pepi H1 thermal fuse, and this is fitted to the GHD Gold, the Max, the Platinum Plus, and I'm seeing a lot of people decide that this cylinder fuse is a good replacement for this. Now, let me ask you a question. The engineers that are doing that, or the home repairers, do you think GHD spent, I don't know how much on each of these, when they could have got away with a couple of pence on one of these? Well, the answer is no. Do not change one of these for one of these. You are taking full responsibility for anything happening to the pair of irons that you're repairing if you change an original part like this for something that you've decided is suitable. It isn't. Replace like for like. Now, GHD may have changed this on these newer models, but what they haven't done is use one of these. And the amount of irons they make, they could have got these probably for a couple of pence each, but they have decided not to do that. They have fitted this type, and they have fitted the new rectangular all metal body thermal fuses, and consider the amount of contact area that has on the heating element. And this is all I'm going to say about this. Consider the contact area between the element and that thermal fuse. Now consider the contact area between this style of thermal fuse. It's virtually nothing. Okay, air is a very nice insulator, and you have got minimal contact between that thermal fuse and this. The heater, say it's the other side, it's the heating element. Okay, don't use them. They are not suitable. It's not okay to do it. And as I say, if anything ever goes wrong, you're getting the blame for it, not GHD. There is no excuse not to have enough spares to be able to source this sort or the newer version. And that's my little gripe about that. I'm seeing it pretty much every day from dodgy repairs from various companies where they're using the wrong parts. Anyway, so that was a quick look at the Chronos Max. Really not much to say. Soldered in like the newer GHD S4C242 original model, and yeah, there we go. Quick look at that. Hope that was interesting. I'll have a repair link up. All these parts will be photographed now, and we'll have spares, and we'll be able to repair broken arms and chewed cables and that sort of thing. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching.